Hey, welcome back to Vinyl Decal School. I'm Sarah. I run a vinyl decal business and I like to make videos sharing all of my tips and tricks on how to make and sell vinyl decals. I know there's a lot of people who have been lucky enough to get a Cricut off Santa the Christmas just gone, or they've bought one because they want to get crafty in 2021. So I thought I would do a video on the very basics of making vinyl decals with your Cricut machine. This video is about adhesive vinyl that you stick onto glasses and signs and things like that. It isn't about heat transfer vinyl, which is the stuff you iron onto t-shirts. But before I begin, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe and follow my channel for lots more videos like this, which I'm going to be sharing this year. So the first thing you need to do is to get some vinyl. Your Cricut machine might have came with a bundle of different vinyls, probably Cricut vinyl. I tend to avoid that stuff. It's good if you're just practicing and starting out, so by all means do use it if you have it. But going forward, I always find the stuff you get from sign maker wholesalers and online craft stores a lot better quality and also a lot cheaper. I actually have a list of places to buy vinyl that covers the UK, Australia, the US, Canada and New Zealand in my Facebook group, and also as an attachment in my beginner's course, How to Start a Vinyl Business. So I will leave the links to both of those in the description if you want to sign up to either one. And I'll be more than happy to add places from different countries around the world if you've got any requests, and providing I can find places. So there are quite a few different types and brands of vinyl. I tend to use Ritrama, I think that's how you say it, Rymark series L&M, which is a matte permanent sign vinyl. I purely use that because it's the best quality for the best price that I can find here in the UK. A lot of crafters tend to use Oracle 631 or 651, I think the numbers are. You can either get matte or you can get gloss. That is just, they're pretty much the same. It's just kind of a style preference. I prefer to use matte, but I know a lot of people prefer glossy. And then this kind of vinyl is great for signs, mugs, glasses, anything where you want your vinyl decal to stick permanently and not come off really easily. If you want to make wall decals or things you don't want to kind of be there forever, then you can also get semi-permanent vinyl as well, which is great for that. Then you can also get specialty vinyl like glitter, metallic, chalkboard, patterned, and all sorts of different types that you can use for different purposes. Just look at the details next to the vinyl you want to buy, and that will usually give you a description of what it can be used for and what kind of vinyl it is. And then it's usually cheaper to buy the rolls rather than the A4 sheets, but if you're just starting out and you want to try lots of different ones, then it might be worth getting a bulk load of A4 ones just to kind of find the one you prefer to use. And then you will also need a transfer tape, as that makes applying your decals a lot easier. I use this check kind usually, and it looks like this, but you can also get clear or you can use transfer paper. If you just want to test it out and you don't want to buy any just yet, you can also use masking tape if you've got some of that in the house. And then to cut your vinyl on, you will also need to use your green standard mat, which should have came in the box with your Cricut. Do save my how to restick your Cricut mat video for future reference, because the stick on these does not last forever, so it's really useful to know how to restick them rather than having to buy new ones every time. So put your machine on and open it up. And then you're going to want to make sure the dial is set to either vinyl, or I do put it on Vinyl Plus quite a lot as well. Or if you're using specialty vinyl, then set it to custom. So once you've got your machine on the right setting, you can go ahead and upload a file into Design Space. You might have either created your own or downloaded an SVG or a PNG. I will add a link to a video I've done about where to find designs and fonts. I'm just going to add a design I've already done that I want to add to a jar in for this. Make sure when you're uploading that you save as a cut image, and also you need to get rid of any of the background if it had a background, and then you want to size it to the size it needs to be. I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. If you don't want to add your own design, you just want to do a test, then you can just add text straight into Design Space. I don't tend to do this very much because it adds weird spacing on, but just so you know how to do it, just pick the font you like. A lot of these are fonts that I already have on my computer, but there are quite a few free Cricut fonts as well that you should be able to use. So yeah, that's, as you can see, that one's not joined up. So I'm going to change the letter spacing. Actually, that's probably too joined up. So that would be how you would do it if you're just going to write straight into Design Space and then make it from there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the file I had. And once you're happy with the size you want it to be, you just press Make It, and then it'll come up with which mat you need to use in order to cut it. So as we said, that was the green 12 by 12. So you can either cut out how much vinyl you need. So in this instance, it would be about 2.5 by 4 inches of vinyl, or you can just use, if you've got A4 sheets, just put the A4 sheet on there, and then once it's cut out, you can cut around the design so that you're not wasting the whole sheet of vinyl. I'm just using a scrap of vinyl I already had, so it's already kind of cut down almost to the right size. I'm just going to pop it on the mat. And then I'm just using a brayer roller to go over it to get all of the air out, but you can just push it down with your Cricut scraper or a credit card. And then, as we mentioned, you can set it to vinyl or vinyl plus. I've got it set as vinyl plus because my blade is a little bit on the old side, but vinyl should be fine for you if you're just using standard vinyl. But if you're using a more specialty vinyl, then set your dial as a custom materials. And then if you scroll right down, the vinyl is at the bottom, and there's like a large section full of different types. These are obviously in reference to Cricut vinyl specifically. So if you do have Cricut vinyl that you're using, it should be quite easy to find the one you want in here. Sometimes it does just take a little bit of practice. It's always a good idea to do a practice cut just with like a small, just do a little star or a heart or something in the corner of the vinyl first to test it out, to make sure you've got the right cut setting before you go ahead and make your design. If you're trying to do any really small designs, then washi tape is quite a good setting for that. It's quite good if you've got anything really finicky. But then if you are really struggling with cutting your vinyl, if you get in touch with the supplier who sold it to you, they can usually advise on cut settings, or you can look on blogs or Facebook groups, and there's usually someone else who has used the same vinyl and can give you some advice on what setting to cut it on. But I'm just going to put mine back at vinyl plus. I'm going to load in my vinyl by pressing the arrow button, and once that has loaded properly, then press the C Cricut button to cut. So first thing to do is take the vinyl off your mat. Yours might be a lot stickier than this, in which case turn it over and peel the mat away from the vinyl, and that usually helps it not to rip as much. Once you've done that, make sure first thing you do, pop your plastic sheet back on your mat so that it doesn't get dusty and dirty. And then you can cut around your design to save any excess vinyl. I'll probably not save that because it's too little, but if you've got a bigger sheet, then it's worth having a scraps pile. And then what you need to do is get rid of all of the excess vinyl, which is called weeding. So you just carefully peel the corner away and slowly peel from outside of all of the letters. Once you've got rid of that, you will need something sharp ideally. This is a weeding tool. You can use like dentist picks, or there's all sorts of toolkits, crafting toolkits you can find. You just kind of need something sharp that can pick up the individual middle bits of the letters. And be really careful where you're putting it. Make sure you're not putting any holes into the letters themselves, just in the middle bits. Can be sometimes quite hard to see them. So it is a lot easier to weed when you've got good lighting, good natural lighting as well. And there you go, that's as easy as that. That is the decal weeded. Obviously this is a very easy one to do, an easy font. If you've got anything much smaller, much loopier, then there's usually a lot more to weed. So I would say start off with something as simple as this, so it's easy to try. And then once you've done that, you're going to take some transfer tape and pop it over the top. This just makes it a lot easier to apply, rather than having to like peel off each individual letter and then stick it onto something. You can use transfer tape to lift up the letters to stick it straight on. I usually cut round this as well to make it a lot easier to apply. So to take the backing paper off, the easiest thing to do is to rub the back with a squeegee or a scraper, or even like a plastic store card will do the job, just to flatten it down. And then it's as easy as peeling the backing paper away. Again, if you do something a bit more small and fiddly, it's not always as easy as this, and it does take a little bit of patience sometimes. And there you go, there's your vinyl decal ready to be applied. I will link the section of my YouTube videos which is all about how to apply decals, because it can differ depending on what type of surface you put it on, so I didn't want to go into that in this video. But yeah, just practice with loads of different surfaces, loads of different colours, types of vinyl, font types. Just vinyl your whole house basically. That's what I've pretty much done. And you will be a pro in no time. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. Please don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and follow and subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this.